Happy Pride! From Family Fab 76. Oh yeah, my little ham. So since there's no Pride parades or Pride festivals because of the virus, we decided we'd throw little mini prides throughout the month, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
This is our first step.
And I actually love Papa's, and I wish I could have a paw.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll do a paw next time for you. So this is our first attempt at
Internet Pride.
Yay, Internet Pride. So I know. I guess. Yeah.
Those are glow sticks.
I don't know. Or our float.
Our float.
So yeah, maybe we'll have a float next time. Thanks, everybody.
Love you all.
Love you.
So my coming out story. So I was 20 years old and I was on a date with my first boyfriend, and we're driving back to my house the next morning because that's the kind of guy I am. Things have definitely changed there. But anyway, and my house had an alleyway. So we're coming down the alleyway for him to drop me off home, and going into his truck was my stepfather. And I'm like, stop, stop. And my boyfriend stopped, slammed his brakes on the car. He's like, what? What's going on? Am I gonna hit something? I'm like, no, that's my stepdad. He can't see you dropping me off. He's gonna wonder who you are. It's gonna ask questions. No, you just can't do it. So I made him back up and go down to the front of the house. And as we're pulling up to the front of the house, I'm like, stop, stop. And he's like, Jesus Christ, what? And he just slammed on the brakes again. And I'm like, that's my mom bringing in groceries. She never uses the front door. He goes, what do you want me to do? And he was just so frazzled. And I ended up getting out of the car 2 blocks from my house and walking the rest of the way home. And as I'm walking home, I just kept looking at his face and like the anxiety this whole issue caused. And I'm like, I have got to be honest with my family. I mean, more for myself than anything, because I mean, what I saw is a little bit of like myself in the face of my boyfriend, the constant anxiety, and I'm just not a liar. So I had to speak my truth. So I come in the front door, I help my mother unpack groceries. Believe it or not, there wasn't many questions of where I was. I did say I was spending the night at a friend's house. I mean, but anyway, so I say, can I talk to you, Mom? And I bring her upstairs to my room, and I'm like, Mom, you said you'd always love me, right? No matter what. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, I got something to tell you, and I don't know how to tell you this. And she goes, let me guess. You got so-and-so pregnant. I don't want to use her name. Well, yeah, it's the first name. You got Sue pregnant. Because I just broke up with my long-term girlfriend not long before dating this guy. And I was honest with her. I told her why, because she's the first person it came out to. And I go to my mother. I'm like, no pregnancy here. And she goes, are you doing drugs? I'm like, nope, not doing drugs. She's looking at me puzzled, and I'm like, I'm gay. And she goes, oh, okay, all right. Well, I said I'd always love you, and that was a huge burden off my chest. But it doesn't end there. So then that night, I'm laying in my sister's bed. My sister wasn't there. She was downstairs. I don't know why. I can't remember why I was in her bed. But I was in her bed sleeping, and it was a stormy night. And I wake up to like a Misery scene. Those of you who know Misery. You stupid cock-a-doodie. So in the middle of the night, I wake up and there happens to be lightning happening right when I open my eyes. And there's my mother at the foot of the bed, tears running down her face. And all I saw was her silhouette. And I'm just like, I start screaming. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And she goes, it's my fault. It's my fault why you're gay, blah, 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 blah. And we had to have another heart-to-heart. But yeah, she scared the bejesus out of me. I guess she was in shock when I first told her because she had no clue. But there's definitely warning signs coming up to this. I mean, she must have had a clue. I think she actually said later on, years later, that, you know, she brought up some things. I'm like, yeah, that's what that was all about. But yeah, so that's my coming out story. I'm very blessed that my family is very accepting and always has been of my sexuality. It's never really been an issue. The other person that I needed to tell was my grandmother, but my mother told my grandmother for me. She thought it'd be better that way. My grandmother just wanted a week to process, and that was it. We had to take it a little slower with her because, you know, at the time she was in her late 60s. Yeah, late 60s. But yeah, that's my coming out story. That's all there is. I mean, I don't have all this drama, thank God. My stepfather was awesome with it. That's another story I could tell another time. But that's maybe that'll be next year's Pride. But yeah, it was. It's been a very positive overall experience for me. So, all right. Happy Pride, everyone.
I came out, so I come from a very blended family. I came out to my mom when I was 18, and it wasn't really that big of a deal. Like, we kind of came out in I kind of was like almost like we were arguing about me going out to this concert at this club called the QE2. Now, it was kind of like an avant-garde nightclub kind of thing, and she thought it was like a gay bar. It was not a gay bar, but that was like the rumor on the streets, was that it was like a secret gay bar. So she was not really keen on me going there. So what wound up happening was, I think she said, do you know what kind of people go there? And I'm like, well, what if I was one of those people? You're saying you wouldn't love me? And she's like, no. And so I said, well, I am. And I kind of like stormed away. And we never really talked about it afterwards. It kind of was like, all right, I'm queer. And ta-da! I mean, to be honest, I think she must have known. I'm not the most butchest thing, and I'm not the butchest, though I try really hard to be. So she kind of known. My other half of my coming out story to my other half of my family, my stepmom, that's a little funnier. It's kind of like I brought Kevin down as my friend, and this is when we first started dating. I was probably 20-ish. Yeah, I said 2020, 21-ish, somewhere around there. I brought him down to the shore, hang out with my family by the pool, be kind of fun. And then he decides he wants to go out on a date one night, but I'm like, well, I can't tell my family I'm going on a date with my friend. So he finds this real nice restaurant he wants to go out to. He calls this is before cell phones now. Like, so he uses my, you know, we're at my stepmom's, he's calling the place. He probably called there like 6 or 7 times to confirm. He was so nervous to confirm a reservation and to make sure it was casual so that we were dressed appropriately for this nice place. It was really nice. The dinner was beautiful. But looking back on it, like, my stepmom, kind of was chuckling the whole time because she kind of realized that this is not my friend because we're going on a date. So that's kind of funny. So then it just kind of wasn't like a non-spoken thing. So those are my coming out stories. I hope you guys enjoyed them. No, they're mine. They're meaningful to me. And I know everyone's coming out story is different. Some people have very dramatic ones. Some people have very sad ones. And my heart aches for people like that, for you guys whose stories are very sad like that. And that's kind of why Kevin and I do this, is to show younger generations that it gets better and that it is getting better and that you are accepted and you are loved no matter what. Someone will love you. Someone will accept you. So keep fighting the good fight, all my Family Fab 76 fans, and happy Pride Month. Let's keep that positivity and love flowing. And, thanks. Daddy Darko signing out.